Pretty long odds at the start of the season that come the middle of March, both Wigan and Hulkingston Rovers will be in the bottom half of the first Utility Super League table. But they begin tonight 10th and 11th on the ladder. A chance then for both teams to kickstart their campaigns, and these are the men they hope will do it. At fullback, it's Matty Bowen and Greg Eden. On the wings, Josh Charnley had a 5-game, 5-try loan spell at Hull KR 4 years ago, and Ben Cockayne is back at Rovers for a second spell. The young try scorer Joe Burgess is up against Adi Gardner, who is on debut. He's on loan from St Helens. In the centres, Darryl Golding, he returns to the side having missed the last two, and Chris Weller makes his 140th appearance for his only club. It's Ian Thornley and Liam Salter, who missed the first weekend and has played in them all since. Standoff, Blake Green goes up against his former club, and Travis Burns is the man who replaced him. Matty Smith's drop goal looked to have won the match at Castleford, but it didn't. And Chris Keating is the man who replacing Michael Dobson this year. He's got some big boots to fill. Up front, Scott Taylor against his former club. Justin Poore sent off here last April when he flattened Liam Farrell. The hookers, Michael McIlorum suspended, so a chance for the last Tompkins standing in Super League, Logan, and it'll be a test against Josh Hodgson. Dom Crosby has been ever present so far. Michael Wayman is a former State of Origin star. Second row see Jack Hughes making his first Super League appearance of the year, and the French international Kevin Laroya. Liam Farrell makes his 100th Super League appearance, while Papua New Guinea's World Cup captain is Neville Costigan. And a loose forward, Ben Flower, the Welsh international, faces up to Jamie Langley, who's at Rovers after 12 years with the Bradford Bulls. On the benches, it's Pettiborn, Bateman, Williams and James for Wigan, Adam Walker, Graham Horn, Cox and Green for Rovers. So Wigan, they have a match in hand on most of them, but the 2013 champions were never expected to lose 2 of their first 3 in the first Utility Super League of 2014. Hulkingston Rovers in their 8th unbroken season in Super League, but they have never waited this long for a first win of the season. Back-to-back home games do follow for them, though. Against Bradford and Wakefield, Rovers believe that a change in fortune is imminent. They're seeking their first win of 2014, also their first in 8 games, stretching back to last August. And out they come, seeking their first win at Wigan since May 2009, 2012 here. Michael Dobson that day scored a try and kicked 4 goals. This is down as Wigan's heritage round, and some of the great names of the past are here to form a guard of honour for Wigan of 2014. Billy Boston, Andy Gregory are amongst them. There's another former Wigan great, now of course the coach of the Wigan Warriors, Sean Wayne, and he will have been working hard in the training field all week, at least sorting out the defence, he says, which was a little bit leaky against Castleford last week. It was a thrilling match. It was arguably one of the games of the season. The Tigers and the Warriors shared 12 tries, but that is not on perfectionist Wayne's list of what he would like to see.
No, he was furious over the loss at Castleford, and he's none too happy about their defensive patterns as well. I mentioned just before the kick-off that they have the ability, of course they do. Wigan, they won the double last season. They can get it all together, one ball in hand. They can create some wonderful rugby league football, but you've got to make sure that your defensive line is set. Lack of understanding at times, which is rather confusing when you think about last season, Blake Green and Matty Smith. They were really hunting at the back of a very strong Wigan pack. Perhaps it's not as strong this season, but Sean Wayne realises if they do not lay the platform that Hulkingston Rovers, they have the talent. Their coach, Craig Sandercock, is pretty confident that this could be the turning point of their season.
Well, it's a perfect night. It's cool. It's a bit chilly, to be fair, but the pitch, as it always is here at this stadium, in absolutely magnificent order. Match referee Richard Silverwood. Wigan in predominantly white. There is red there, of course, still cherry and white, but Hull KR in blue, and Wigan attacking from right to left as we watch. High hanging kickoff, and the first drive of the evening from Hull KR, met with some solid Wigan defence on Greg Eden, and Sean Wayne will hope it stays like this for the full 80.
Yeah, he knows it. That was a pretty good chase from the kickoff, and it was a good take by Greg Eden as well. We both know, both the fullbacks, Wigan, Matty Bowen and Greg Eden, they can be magical at times, but sometimes, especially under the high bomb, they can be less effective. Interesting to see how either fullbacks tonight handle the high kick.
Rovers in possession on the far side of the field. Logan Tompkins has been very heavily involved in the early exchanges. That was Jamie Langley he put down there. The kick down the line from Chris Wellen isn't a bad one. And Matty Bowen, not interested, just allows the ball to run easily over the line.
Was it Chris Keating, actually? I think he made
Chris Keating. They're both redheads, aren't they?
On the left-hand side, yes. And Keating, a lot of people might remember Michael Dobson playing so well in the half-back for Hull Kings Rovers in previous seasons. He now needs to fill that number 7 shirt. Dobson's kicking was one of the great strengths the Hull Kings Rovers had. Can he be as good?
Yeah, Chris Keating, a try in his Super League debut against Leeds, but they lost that match by 34 points to 6. So here now is Charnley for the Wigan Warriors.
Discipline also a key for Craig Sandicott's side. The Rovers, they know that they can't give away silly penalties.
It was a fairly good opening set of 6, though, wasn't it, from Rovers? And Wigan having to begin this, their first use of the football, from deep inside their own half. They're trying to do that now with Liam Farrell.
The key factor, once again, Eddie, in this modern game, if you can get the opposition to struggle to get over the halfway line, then you can start taking control. And at the moment, the Rovers are doing just that.
Still not outside their own half, and that was Jack Hughes getting to his feet. The kick bobbles its way eventually into the arms of Aidy Gardner. First touch for the former Saint. He's at Rovers on a month loan to begin with.
Not a bad acquisition either as well. He only knows one way, Aidy Gardner. He does muscle up. He likes to take the ball well over into the defence. It's going to be a bit strange. Hasn't spent much time with the team.
He's been out on loan at Whitehaven this year as well, keeping his match fitness up to scratch, and with all the injuries that they had, Rovers, well, obviously Craig Sandercott looked for replacements. Mistake, the first one from Greg Eden.
Yeah, it was nice to see the fullback come into the back line, but you can see quite clearly he took his eyes off the football. It's an elementary mistake. You cannot afford to do that.
Just had a glance at Dom Crosby, who was coming in for the tackle. So a good opening set of 6 for Rovers, but it's just gone slightly scrappy.
Well, Eddie, I've been watching how the front rows are working in this game. I'm really interested in watching Scott Taylor, a former Hull KR player, of course, how he matches up against Justin Poore and Wayman. Only 4 or 5 years ago, these two were playing in State of Origin back in Australia, and Ben Flower, who I thought was outstanding in the defeat in the World Club Challenge match. So I'm just going to watch how that unfolds with those 4 big men in the middle.
As Blake Green, he gets it away to Matty Smith. Here is Matty Bowen. He finds Darryl Goulding. Wide it goes to Charnley. He tries to go inside Chris Wellen, and then he is pulled to ground with a bit of help by Ben Cockayne. It's Matty Smith floating it into centre field to Blake Green. He looks for the runners. The runner is Bowen. Bowen gives the ball to Thornley. He drops it. Or was it knocked out? Was it knocked out? It is going to be head and feed to Wigan at the scrum.
I think Aidy Gardner took the gamble. He had to shut that down. He stuck the arm out. He had a decision to make. You can see him backing off, backing off. The winger's just outside. If Thornley can get that ball to Burgess, Burgess is in.
Well, I think he's been badly done to. He's involved in the tackle.
I think he's battered it down, Steve-O.
Well, the referees will go off the interpretation that as soon as the ball's left the passer's hand and it hits the defender, then they will go with a knock-on that the ball's been played at. So that's what they've ruled there.
So this is Jack Hughes now. He took on Chris Keating, and with a bit of help from 1 or 2 others, Langley and Hodgson, for instance, he got him down. But Wigan on the front foot here in the opening 5 minutes. And there's a chance here for Thornley. He gets there, but does he get the ball down? He was rolled over the line, and he was bundled touch and goal. But the referee, Richard Silverwood, Stuart Cummins, needs to check the grounding with our video referees.
Yes, not concerned with anything else, just going to have a look to see whether the ball was grounded correctly. So it's all about what happens over the try line. Does he keep hold of the ball? Does he get the ball down correctly when he gets over the line?
Well, they've gone back to the play of the ball. They're watching the full move here. And here comes the telling moment.
So is he still in possession of the ball? He is at that point. He's grounded, he's over the line, and, well, the tackle's coming from the side. Does he still have his hand on the ball? I would think probably he's got enough of his hand on the ball to count as downward pressure. I think this will be a try unless the camera at the other side shows some separation from the ball.
Well, it's pretty difficult from that angle, but I'd have to say that he had enough fingers on the ball. And I think Thornley will be given the nod on this one.
I think this is the angle that will tell us. And I don't think there's anything there that can say he hasn't grounded it. So
well,
I think this will be...
ankle was in the way of anything, so...
It was.
Here's the decision.
The decision is...
Well, the try is given to Ian Thornley. No separation. And the 4 points go Wigan's way.
Well, good link up there. This is the incident where Eddie Gardner has been deemed to have knocked off. Gave him an opportunity. And I must say, Wigan's tactics already in this game is not to play it down the middle, but keep it out wide. And they have been rewarded. Thornley, watch how he just takes the ball, goes on the arc and throws the little dummy. Inside, he knows he's got there.
And Steve, it's always a worry when you see defenders backing off, and unfortunate Hull KR backing off on that occasion.
Tries in 3 of the first 4 rounds then, 4 or 3 of the 4 rounds for Ian Thornley, 3 of the 4 that he's played in. And this is the area that Wigan have been slightly dodgy in this year. Of course, no Pat Richards, Matty Smith. He misses, only 8 from 18 shots now this year for Matty Smith, but Wigan lead by 4 points to 0.
Well, Ian Thornley does a good job of learning during the game, does a good job of getting it down. A gallant effort from Hull KR, but I think he learns his lesson. He shows the ball enough for Eddie Gardner to go out to the attacker Joe Burgess outside, and Thornley gets the first points for Wigan.
Yeah, quite obvious to everybody, this Wigan outfit. Their coach Sean Wayne has made it quite clear they don't want a forward battle. It is a big pack from the Rovers tonight, but they are just keeping it from side to side.
Kick-off is fielded on the fly by Matty Bowen. He's clattered on the deck as well by Josh Hodgson for his pains. Let's go down to Bill. I think you've got news of Matty Smith for us, Bill.
Well, Eddie, it's about this Wigan goal-kicking conundrum. Of course, you mentioned earlier on, Steve mentioned in the build-up, the loss of Pat Richards, and where are the goals going to come from? That's 18 tries scored now, only 8 converted. But I'm told that Matty Smith has been working extra hard on his goal-kicking this week. He came in on his day off, according to coach Sean Wayne, and kicked 28 out of 30 goals in practice, and he was kicking them from all over the field. It's just a case of doing it in the actual game situation, which Wigan haven't cracked yet.
Yeah, when the pressure's on, it's a different kettle of fish, Bill, isn't it? No doubt about that. Wide kick looking for Burgess, and he just puts the ball down. That would have been a scintillating effort.
Beautiful tactics.
Great kick by Blake Green.
Well, Wigan have struggled out. Sorry, Hull Kingston Rovers have struggled with Wigan's attack out wide. Last season and here already tonight, there's a chance missed there for young Joe Burgess. In the 3 games that Wigan played against Rovers last year, they scored a total of 27 tries, and many of them had the similar pattern to the one scored by Thornley. It seems that they haven't managed to find a way of stopping what they know is going to happen. They'll have to switch on very quickly, or they're going to be stood behind the goalpost quite a bit tonight.
Well, that point that Bill made about the goal kicking is well made. Pat Richards, goal kicker supreme, now back home in Australia. It could be their Achilles heel this year. As I say, they showed 12 tries with Castleford last week, but they converted only 3 of them. Matty Smith's conversion rate is 47%. John Keir, on Boots and All and on the Super League full-time programme, has said all year that he believes 80% success rate for a goal kicker is absolutely vital. No wonder Matty Smith has been working overtime on the training field this week. But it's doing it under pressure, isn't it, on match days?
You should know, Eddie, with your golf swing. That is for sure. It's.
But I get too many air shots, Steve-O. That's
yeah, I know. I've been impressed, though, with Wigan so far. Oh, that's a good take.
Well claimed by Matty Bowen, and here he goes. This is the sort of form he showed in the NRL, Matty Bowen. He's got Gardner after him. He's leaving Gardner for dead. This is a fabulous try for Matty Bowen. He has taken a little bit of time to settle. He has had his critics as Matty Bowen. This will do him the world of good. What a try! He took the ball out of the air cleanly and then went the length of the field. 32 last Sunday, and he left Aidy Gardner in his wake. And Aidy Gardner's a winger, don't forget, and a pretty quick one as well.
Well, the criticism has all been about Matty Bowen not being able to jump for the ball. He did on this occasion. In and out, they should have got to him. They had enough numbers there. And for the fullback at his age to outrate Aidy Gardner and score a sensational try, it certainly will lift his confidence. But this is the most important. He takes the ball cleanly.
Well, he takes a kick-off on the full in the set before this, and I think the confidence he gains from catching that ball allows him to jump high, claim that ball, and he just backs himself. And it's wonderful to watch a player when he's got the line at his mercy, when they've got gas, when they've got speed, and they back themselves. It's wonderful to watch.
Well, it's a fabulous way to get off the mark in terms of try scoring for Matty Bowen on this ground. And now then, Matty Smith here. Well, it looks easier than the first one from up here. What does Matty Smith make of it? He's missed it.
It is a problem, Eddie, and he knows it, and so does his coach, Sean Wayne. But putting the kicking to one side, Sean Wayne will be ever so pleased about this guy. He has been criticised, and by me also. They said he wasn't a jumper, he was a cardigan because he couldn't jump. Well, he certainly jumped on that occasion, and look at the pace. He knows he's going to score the four-pointer.
Well, 2 tries, neither of which have been converted. The first difficult, the second, and look, I've never kicked a goal in my life. But that looked, for a professional rugby league player, as being a certain 2 points. But poor old Matty Smith pushed it the other side of the post. So it's 8-0 to Wigan.
There is one way round it, Eddie, and that is for the Wigan side to score directly under the post.
Well, he got as close as he could do there, didn't he?
He certainly tried.
Blake Green hangs on, gives it to Matty Smith. He then finds Darryl Goulding.
And again, look how Wigan are going out wide. Hardly any play has been come from the Wigan side down the middle. It's been maybe one drive and then a link.
Oh, that was a big tackle from Wayman on Flower.
And Ben Flower didn't like it, just had a little bit of afters with Wayman then.
Well, there's another duel I'm looking forward to. Wellham and Darryl Goulding, 2 great centres. Let's see Gardner on the ball. Can Hull KR with a bit of possession. We'll see that tackle again. Stuart.
Well, it was close to going above the horizontal. I think the referees give him the benefit of the doubt because he's landed safely.
Just watch Eddie here to see whether the speed of the play of the balls for Hull Kings Rovers are as fast as they are for Wigan. Is that Wigan are stronger in the tackle, have a better technique, or just more determined to get up and play the ball quicker? Here's Costigan trying to get back up to his feet as quickly as he can.
Yes, Neville Costigan played State of Origin for Queensland as well, the Papua New Guinea skipper in the World Cup. And Dutch Jamie Langley, 12 years at the Bradford Bulls. Here is Keating, who went behind Costigan a bit then. And he's got a bit of space here to have a go at. Kick from the outside of the boot, looking for the winger down that far side. And it's only Charnley who gets to it. And Charnley is bundled over the line by Josh Hodgson. That's good play. Good play from Rovers.
Yeah, Chris Keating put himself under a lot of pressure. Couldn't get the kick away.
Well, Steve, I was talking about kick pressure teams in warm-up before and what they do to the kicker. They make him hurry, but on this occasion, Keating does a magnificent job, and it's the reaction of the Hull KR side and kick chase team. You see how they celebrate that. They know that's a victory to them.
Yeah, big moment maybe in the match for Hull KR that. They will get head and feet at this scrum. And if you look at the markings on the pitch, that's the Wigan Athletic goal mouth, so they're 18 yards away from the try line here.
And it was good use of the blind side as well. Kick by Keating, superb.
This is Keating again, gets a short ball away, and it's a try for Langley. Jamie Langley responds, and that's just what Rovers required. Conceding 2 tries early, and they get over for the next themselves, and that's the response that Craig Sandercock would have been looking for. Jamie Langley with the try, a grand final winner, of course, in his time with Bradford. A try here for the Bulls in a memorable win against Wigan in 2005.
Tremendous work, though, wasn't it, by Chris Keating? Put a little chip in. As soon as it was gathered there by Charney, get straight into it. And from that position, they really did put a pressure on that blind side. Watch the delayed pass. They came out of the line, and they paid the price.
Well, Steve, I think they've seen something they like over on this side, Hull KR. A couple of chances they've had to kick, they've come out to Wigan's right, their left, and that's just a great line by Langley. Perhaps if we get another look at it, we might see an overload of numbers on Hull KR's.
Well, Jamie Langley, it's a new look for him. It's a new club for him in 2014. That's his first try for Hull KR. We're getting a series of firsts tonight, aren't we? First try for Matty Bowen in Wigan's colours. First try for Jamie Langley and Craig Sandercock. That's better. And they're kicking the goals, aren't they? Courtesy of Travis Burns. Wigan 8, Hull KR 6.
And it just shows you how vital it is to make sure that you get your conversions away. 2 tries to Wigan. They could have been in full control, but watch how they utilize. Look how Keating just draws them in. Oh, there was a huge gap. 2 Wigan defenders went right at the same person, who was a dummy runner, and Langley raced over. Game on.
Yeah, game on indeed. 8-6. Gardner will take it forward again. He's had many battles, hasn't he, in the colours of St Helens against Wigan over the years. And looks like he might be in for one here tonight in the colours of Hull KR. That is a drive forward by Justin Poor.
Big responsibility for the 2 props, Poor and Wayman. They really have got to try to get into overdrive.
Well, the young fellas will step up and all that. Flowers and his front row partner Scott Taylor, you watch how many times the 2 8s meet, the 2 10s meet.
Good work by Scott Taylor, grounding Travis Burns. Travis Burns didn't like what was either said to him or the way he was tackled, and he's still carrying on with the conversation with Scott Taylor as this ball is played on halfway, and Hodgson gets it away to Keating again, and Keating with the left foot kick down the middle, skips away from Bowen, but Bowen gets to it.
It's a good kick as well, and the chase is adequate.
What about the skill on the catch? He caught it with his left hand, kicked it with his left foot, all in the same movement, Keating.
Well, they've got the tails up, Rovers, after that score. 8-6 Wigan lead. Remember, Rovers seeking their first win of the season. They're not bad in the forwards just now, but they've got a few of the back division out. Sean Gleeson, David Hodgson, Craig Hall and Amari Caro all out injured. But Phil made the point in commentary, or was it just before the match, that they conceded a record 84-6 home defeat to Wigan last year, but they scrubbed up a bit as the season went on. They only lost 21 points to 16 here later on in the campaign. And if I remember rightly, that big defeat was over Easter, when I think Craig Sandercock and Hull Kingston Rovers weren't quite ready for the second match of the Easter period after a big effort against the Black and Whites.
Yeah, it was on the Easter Monday game, and they weren't ready, and they were totally embarrassed, which they can't afford again tonight. I even think, though, inside the opening quarter, the quality and technique of Wigan's tackling is far superior to that of Hull Kingston Rovers. When Wigan players have run the ball to make ground, they've made 2 or 3 metres after the defenders have hit them. But for Hull Kingston Rovers, they've stopped them dead in the track with tackles just like that. I genuinely hope, though, he's okay.
Yes, Gardner felt that. I think he had the wind taken out of his sails. Farrell just stood his ground then, Stuart, and made contact with the shoulder.
Well, there was no contact with the head. I'm not sure where the injuries come from. Certainly, I think it knocks his head back a bit. Bit of whiplash, but I don't think there's any foul play in it.
Paul will take it forward then for Hull KR. Warrington 4 up at Salford. You saw that Leeds and Widnes were 0-0 just a few moments ago, and Saints are ahead in their match, 12-0.
Pretty good position now for the Rovers, and that's got to be a penalty. That is silly play there by Blake Green. Just a lazy arm, messing around. You just watch it, pulls it away. Got to release him.
This could be massive for Hull Kingston Rovers, Eddie. We've seen they've had one set where they've started inside their opponent's 20-metre zone and they scored a try from it. They won't get that many chances. They will have to take some points because you know we're going to go and score a few tries tonight.
Well, here they come with Travis Burns. Short ball from him finds Neville Costigan.
Keep your eye on the fullback, Greg Eden.
There was Eden, the dummy half. Here is Burns. Back it comes. Eden gets the ball away to Liam Salter. They're in again, Rovers. Liam Salter gets the ball down. They've had 2 attacks from within inside the 20-metre zone, and Hull Kingston Rovers have come up with 2 tries, much to the delight of their travelling supporters. Liam Salter's first try of the campaign. Hull KR, having trailed 8-0, suddenly lead by 10 points to 8.
Lack of discipline by Blake Green. Awarded them the penalty, put them into a good position. But you've got to criticise the Wigan defence here. See how some went on the same line, the others went round. They're not talking to each other, the Wigan defenders. Look at them. Are we waiting? Who's got it? Tell you who's got it. Named Salter, and he's scored.
It's a courageous carry from Salter. He knows that when he catches that ball, there's a good chance that he's going to get a crack. I think it's from Joe Burgess. But he just runs hard, stays strong, and has the ability to keep his marbles and get the ball down.
So Rovers hit the front, and Travis Burns kicked with his first, and Travis Burns has missed with his second. But Hull KR lead by 10 points to 8.
And well deserved as well. That was a good quick play. He'll be happy. Sandercock, he won't be. He knows that it was a real mess on the left-hand side on the defensive. Some went, others stopped, others held back. In fact, 2 of the Wigan players ran into each other.
So midway through the first half, and we've had a flurry of activity. 2 tries apiece, 1 goal kick successfully converted by Hull KR's Travis Burns. That's why we've got the 10-8 scoreline. And Gardner limps away from that tackle. He's in the wars already, is Eddie Gardner for Hull Kingston Rovers.
It's amazing, Eddie, isn't it? You know, until the Rovers came back into this game, it looked as though Wigan were just going to absolutely walk away with it. I mean, the way that they were not utilising the forwards, they were linking very quickly, sometimes on the second, too often on the third, and it was causing all sorts of problems for the Rovers. But boy, have they hit back.
Well, they've hit back with some confidence. When you consider what happened to them last season, they don't want to be embarrassed again here. They've gone toe for toe. They've made more ground than Wigan so far, and they would expect them to be slightly ahead. They've got to take advantage here now and maintain the momentum. Now it's behind them.
Travis Burns was the dummy half. Keating again is the kicker, and he will find touch 20 metres away from the Wigan goal line. Well, he's bouncing around at the moment now is Chris Keating.
Yeah, he's controlling the match, and that is great positional play. He's got enough nous to understand that if you just keep turning the opposition around, it's a great kick. You know, it's far too often some of these Super League teams, they don't utilise this short blind side enough. They've also learnt their lesson. Remember, the one and only bomb they put up, a certain Mr. Matty Bowen picked it off and went the length of the field to score the try. Not surprisingly, Craig Sandercock, the coach, has said, we'll go into the corner, fellas.
Well, 6 new recruits this year for the Wigan Warriors. Tompkins, Richards, Mossop, Hansen, all gone from their grand final lineup, and McIlauram's also out tonight, suspended. So much changed outfit compared to what we saw at Old Trafford last October. Liam Farrell bounces away from a couple of would-be tacklers.
Good goal,
goes straight at Justin Poore. Now, it was interesting when those two met in this corresponding fixture last year.
That was a good run, though, by Farrell, and that they really needed it. And they've got to really get into the game now.
This is Eddie Pettiborn, has come off the bench. Tompkins. And Taylor will take it forward.
We play the ball, that's what he wanted.
Smith's kick goes high off the boot. Eddie Pettiborn is offside. He's told to stay out of it, and it's claimed by Greg Eden quite easily.
High kick, good chase. Can they keep them down? That's the big question they'll be asking.
Gardner now. Another solid hit on Eddie Gardner from Eddie Pettiborn. Again, Gardner limps away from that tackle. Well, he's only come in this week because of injuries. He's been brought on loan. Craig Sandercock delighted to have him, but he won't want him to be injured in this, his first match.
Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it, for Sandercock? Does he keep him out there? Maybe another 5 minutes again. Kick into this blindside corner, and it's a good one.
It's a great kick. Bowen has to run this out from his own goal line. And he gets as far as Kevin Laroya.
Well, the tactics are great from the visitors. And they'll be buoyed by this. The defence has been pretty solid.
Tompkins gets the pass away.
Crowd getting a bit restless. They feel that they should have been brought up for being offside, but
Charlie with the scamper from dummy half.
They're getting up quickly, Eddie.
Yes, they are. Tompkins again. Here is Liam Farrell once more, taking the battle forward for Wigan. But that's the last tackle coming up here now for the Warriors. And Tompkins gives it to Green, who gives it to Smith. They're running it here. And Charlie, well, he just couldn't take that pass in. Wellham will pick it up. It's the zero. Tackle this. The referee will say, bring it back and let us have the turnover. No advantage gained.
Well, on that occasion, Wigan again trying to get it out wide onto that right wing. Just fumbled it, but they're equal to the task. The one thing that the Rovers have changed, in the opening 10 minutes, they were using a sliding defence. Now they're a man-on-man marking. Effective.
We just saw at the bottom of your screen, Ben Cockayne had dropped back, anticipating the kick. Matty Smith has spotted that, and if he could have executed that pass, if he could have been more accurate, I reckon Josh Charnley has a decent bit of area to run.
Cockayne will get to his feet and play the ball. Josh Hodgson has a big role to play for Rovers tonight.
Yeah, great run. That's what you want from a hooker. You could see that the first-second markers are just a little bit lazy.
Keating again just drops the pass off to Justin Poor. He goes straight at Taylor.
Keating wants it.
Burns his dummy half, and Keating gets it. And it's a high kick to that left-hand side again. Charnley's underneath it, and Charnley claims it.
He was taken out, sure.
No, the referee has given a penalty here to Hull KR because I think Chris Wellham was taken out in back play.
Obstruction,
Darryl Goulding, he says, obstructed him. This is interesting, Stuart.
Well, it all depends on the line he runs. He's entitled to run back to the ball, but he can't change his angle. And I think he's not looking at the ball, but he's aware that Wellens is coming on the outside of him.
So can Rovers capitalise on that penalty award? This is Adam Walker now.
They've got to keep an eye out. The combination of Burns and Keating on shocking play the ball. They've got away with it though. Now then, they've got to have a straight line here, Wigan. If anybody comes out of it, it'll widen the gap.
Burns to Chris Keating. Keating in goes wide. He finds Wellham. It's a stroll in for Wellham. And Hull KR score a third try without reply. This game has turned upside down. 8-0 Wigan. A wonderful start. Rovers back in it with a vengeance now. Chris Wellham, 140th appearance for the Rovers for his only club. And Craig Sandercock and Sean Wayne. Two totally different pictures there. Sandercock animated, Sean Wayne frustrated.
Well, this is the penalty. I'm not so sure. I think that's a bit... Either way, Rovers were not complaining. This was a beautiful... Look at that. You talk about defence coming out of the line. Remember what I said? Just take a look at Josh Charnley on this one.
I think they've recognised the numbers again. You see 3 players engaged by that Boyle player, and Josh Charnley has an impossible decision to make, and he makes the wrong one. Ultimately, leaves space for Wellham.
And Burns has added the extras on this occasion. They were 8-0 down, and they've scored 16 points without reply, Rovers.
Well, the Wigan defence wants to take something out of the book. This is the incident that I think is a bit... Well, that was hardly anything. Wasn't that shoulder to shoulder?
You know, it's only as harsh, though, as the decision against Eddie Gardner when he was adjudged to have intercepted and knocked the ball down. That gave Wigan their first scrum, field position for their first try. They're those 50-50 calls. Sometimes you get them. And Wigan know now they're going to up the speed and intensity of this game. Can Hull Kingston Rovers stay at the level they've played at for the last 10 minutes?
Well, shoulder to shoulder, says Steve-O Stewart.
No,
Looked like elbow to shoulder to me.
Well, it was. He's definitely taking him out. If he wants to get in front of the catcher, he's got to get there and be stationary before the runner comes to him. He didn't do that.
And I have to say, for the record, I thought Daryl Goulding knew what he was doing. He was shielding Josh Charnley, who took the ball and had that time because he'd taken out Wellham illegally.
Well, it's a marvellous opening half hour here for Hull Kingston Rovers. Previously, 1 win in their last 11, stretching back to last year. That's a glorious ball on the inside, but almost caught Wigan napping. Neville Costigan, though, I think, and the referee has just taken one here for his pains. Wasn't played properly. The ball was knocked forward from the play of the ball. So head and feed here to Wigan, and a great cheer around the ground that Wigan have got a decision from Richard Silverwood. Let's go down to Bill.
Yeah, those Wigan fans were on their feet just a short time ago, cheering Matty Bowen on down the length of the field. They're on their feet again just a few moments ago in absolute dismay at the disarray in the Wigan defence in front of them. And they really are concerned around me at the way Wigan are defending on that right-hand side. Jordan James on the field for his home debut for the Wigan Warriors. Jordan James, one of the close season's unlikely moves in actual fact, getting a second chance with the Wigan Warriors and making his home debut. And due some good luck, I have to say, because he broke his jaw in the final minute of one of the pre-season friendlies.
Yes, Jordan James released by Salford, thrown a lifeline here by Sean Wayne. He's in his second spell at Wigan, so a debut second time round for Jordan. Let's see how he goes. There he is.
Bit of composure needed now by Wigan. Don't get too excited. Okay, they're 16-8 down. They know they've got to come back pretty quickly.
This is Liam Farrell.
Build the confidence slightly.
Well, they've got plenty of tackles in the bank here, have Wigan. Logan Tompkins wants to get on with it. Here comes Pettybourne. Flying out of the line came Costigan, and also number 14, Adam Walker. This is Tompkins again. He gets the ball away to Ben Flower, and Flower is just held up an inch or two this side of the whitewash. Tompkins again will fire the pass back to Matty Smith. Here is Blake Green. That's a good ball. Thornley for his second. Yes. Second try for Ian Thornley. No doubts about that one. No need to refer that upstairs. And a sloppy play the ball, followed quickly by a penalty, and Hull Kingston Rovers have paid the price.
Boy, did Wigan need that. It was a good switch of play. Went one way, watch how he comes back. He comes on the angle. The Rovers failed to fill in. They thought it was going out wide.
Well, Steve Armett, that 3 penalties and 3 tries conceded by Hull KR. You won't see it on that replay, but Jordan James comes into the play lane. He just moves Pettybourne to the next channel across, which obviously occupies the mind and the thoughts of those goal line defenders in the Hull KR shirts, and they just couldn't get those numbers right again. It's a tale of numbers for both sides tonight.
Well, here's a young man under a bit of pressure, goal kicking. He's inching further and further towards the posts. He's missed with his first 2. Can he just settle his nerves? Yes, he can. Yes, he can, and the gap is down to 10. And he's celebrating the fact that he kicked the goal there.
And an ironic cheer from the massive Wigan crowd here tonight. This was good work, but you can see how the Rovers' defence failed to fill in. They thought it was going over to their right-hand side, and this fella came straight into it. Thornley, second try. Boy, did ever a club need it. But Craig Sandercock would have been furious about the fact when it went one way, the defenders stopped. You've got to fill in.
Farrell will take the battle forward. Sean O'Loughlin, the Wigan captain, missing again tonight. Bitter blow for Wigan when the skipper isn't out there. McIlorum isn't either. That's why Logan Tompkins is controlling things at dummy half, number 15.
And that's a good run from Tompkins. He's been quite happy just to ladle it out all the time, but he's got to start asking a few questions, and he's started to do that.
Smith finds Hughes. That was a no-look pass that went to ground.
It was a shocking pass.
Well, it looks
as though, and it looks as though Hull Kings through Rovers outside backs have started to realise what's going to happen, and they apply the money, they go down the speed. They're moving up quicker. The defence at this stage has been a little bit better. They've made more breaks than their opponents. You'd expect them to be just in front, but there's a very crucial 10 minutes or so here now in which Hull Kings Rovers need to maintain the standards that they've set.
Graham Horne is out on the field. There he is. Will play the ball for Hull KR. And he will give it to James Green, who has also come off the bench in this first half. Josh Hodgson, dummy half. Oh, and he's got James all in front of him. And Josh Hodgson will have a little scamper. He's put then on his back.
Good work as well. He could see that James was in an offside position. Took full advantage. Now, short pass. Keep your eye on Keating. He'll be looking for someone on the outside. Will he get Langley outside him?
Well, they're going down that left-hand side for them, and that was touched by a Wigan pair of feet. And it's dropped on gratefully by Jack Hughes. Nearly came off for Keating, but didn't.
Much better defence by Wigan. They took a leaf out the Rovers. They go man-to-man on that occasion. Before that, they allowed the try. Oh,
is this a knock-on?
Dearie me.
Jordan James.
It was a good shot at it. Hull KR transitioned straight from attack to defence, and their attitude was, let's get up quick, let's make this a fight, and it's Green. It just makes it too untidy and too uncomfortable for Jordan James, who can't keep hold of the ball. Let's see what Hull KR can do with some more pressure.
Well, every time they've been gifted possession and position like this, they've managed to make some hay. Can they do here now with Salter?
Well, they're probing there on that left-hand side. They'll do it again.
They go that way with Hodgson, then Keating. Keating then to Eden. Eden then to Wellham. They're in again. Ben Cockayne. Ben Cockayne has scored for Rovers. There's a massive problem for Wigan down the right-hand side, and Rovers are exploiting it big style. Ben Cockayne with the try. 2 fantastic years with Wakefield, 2012, 2013, 28 tries for the Wildcats, 58 appearances, second spell with Rovers, and he's just scored another try for them.
Big mistake there by Jordan James. Gave Rovers the possession, and again they attacked Josh Charnley's wing. Look at that, there were 3 Wigan players came in for 1 man. They're all over the shop.
Well, I think this is tremendous game plan. You know, teams plan in the week where the weaknesses are of the opposition that they're playing against, and Hull KR have spent all week working on this right edge of Wigan, overloading the numbers, exposing some of those world-class players that are playing in Wigan shirts nowadays. And there's some shock faces behind those sticks.
Well, the shock faces wearing the Wigan jersey, shirts and shorts. There are some even bigger shock faces up here on the gantry. There's one of them, the Wigan coach, Sean Wayne, who's on his way down to the dressing room to deliver a half-time message. And the people who are watching behind the posts can't believe what they're seeing either. So here is Travis Burns now with the opportunity to try and add 2 more points to the Rovers total. He's pulled it just the wrong side of the sticks. But still, the gap is 6 points. A converted try. Wigan 14, Hull KR 20.
Well, he's one of the half-backs who Craig Sandercock's put his faith in. The other player is Chris Keating, the number 7 who I mentioned earlier. You know, in the first 4 games of the season, I didn't think he'd been that impressive. But I think tonight, the passes he's thrown, the timing and accuracy, direction he's given for the attackers out wide has been instrumental in the 20 points that Hull KR have scored. And maybe this is the start of 2014 for Hull KR.
Oh, Eddie Pettybourne.
Lazy, and it was swinging.
Well, I tell you what, he hasn't learned the lesson that he should have done from the World Club Challenge.
Well, that's clearly up off the ball and gone into the face. It's a high tackle, it's a reckless tackle, but you know the contact is around the chest, around the ball initially.
Didn't look pretty.
Never does.
Hodgson gets the ball away to James Green again.
Good
James
work,
Green, just 1 start so far for him.
Just saying it.
Hodgson.
He's having a wow of a game as well as Hodgson as well. He always does, but the forwards on this Hull Kings and Rovers side are really putting him in a good position. And again, they go on that feeble side. Got away with it this time, Charnley.
Yes, Wellham couldn't get the pass out wide to Cockayne, could he? So he'll get up here now. He'll play the ball to Ben, who'll come laterally into centre field. He'll find Burns, and that's a scrappy pass that gets its way eventually to Gardner. And Gardner will then give it to Green again, and Green bounces off McAlorum, off Logan Tompkins, I beg your pardon. The referee says it went backwards. Play on is the decision. That's not backwards, that's forward. Wigan pick it up in the shape of Burgess.
Well, I think they just lost the plot there. They thought it was on the last, that's why they tried to offload it. But they had another one up their sleeves. Oh, was it Blake Green that got a fingertip to it? Either way, Wigan survived. But boy, oh boy, Sean Wayne, the Wigan coach, has he got to sort this defence out?
Pettybourne again. 2 minutes from half-time. Hull Kingston Rovers leading 20 points to 14. Logan Tompkins, Liam Farrell gets the pass away to Thornley, who's on a hat-trick now, of course. Tompkins again. Oh, he ran into Thornley then. Smith, meanwhile, gives it to Jordan James.
Switch is on.
Penalties on as well.
Well, what we've seen so far, every time Hull KR have conceded a penalty, it's resulted in a try. Can Hull KR keep the Wigan side out? A minute and a half on the clock.
Yes, and a big minute and a half it is as well. That's John Bateman. Here now is Matty Smith. It's Pettybourne again. Pettybourne tried to go between two.
They're setting up to bring the fullback in, Matty Bowen.
Tompkins. Here is Smith, gets the pass away to Jack Hughes. And Hughes trying to wrestle his way beyond Kevin Laroya. Tompkins off the deck, gives it to Blake Green. Green then gives it to Matty Smith. Matty Smith to Goulding. Charlie! Charlie with the try. Or is it given or not?
See if he goes round the back.
And they're looking for obstruction in the build-up on the other side of the field, the video referee, Stu.
It's a play, have they caught the ball on the inside of the man as opposed to the outside? And if they have, is there anybody actually obstructed? Is there enough depth on the play? This is the pass here. Where is the ball caught? Is it on the inside or the outside of the man? Well, it looks almost right behind him. Or he just catches it on the outside, does he? Either way, there's a bit of depth on the pass, so the video referee will have to decide whether Hull KR's 13 is actually obstructed there, or can he keep moving?
That's the only thing they're looking at here.
That's the only thing that will concern them here. Where does he catch the ball? Does he catch it on the inside of the man? And is the number 13 obstructed from Hull Kingston Rovers?
That's the next pass, isn't it, then? Now it's gone on to Smith. The earlier one, if you go back before that, is the one that I think they need to look at.
Yeah, the one that's
Pettybourne,
right.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
The guy with his socks down, whether he impedes the Hull Kingston Rovers player.
Yeah. It's Mark Smith. Which side of Pettybourne does he catch the ball?
Fortunately, the super zoom doesn't give the best angle of that.
No. He's got to catch it on the outside.
Is Langley saying he can't get at him because Pettybourne is standing in his way?
Well, again, that's a decision for the video ref.
No try. It's obstruction. He runs behind the back of his own man.
So it was obstruction. Hull KR breathe a sigh of relief. Charnley can't believe it. It's slide rule time, isn't it, when you get things like this?
But he made contact, and I think the officials have got it right.
So we've got, what? Just less than 15 seconds remaining, and the 6-point lead rather stands firm. I think Hull KR would be happy to turn around with this. We'll just take the tackle, and they will. Josh Hodgson. Down they go, and the crowd here booing. I don't know whether they're booing the officials, whether they're booing their own team, or whether they're booing anyone else, but whatever it is, they are trailing the Wigan Warriors at home to Hull Kingston Rovers.